Greetings, good people. Welcome back to the channel. It's Wednesday. It is October the 5th. The year is 2022. And Diddy said Mace owes him $3 million. So, if you guys are not aware, Diddy was in New York, I guess, doing his little press run or what have you. And he stopped by the Breakfast Club morning show. This interview is in its entirety on YouTube, on Power 105's YouTube page. Diddy talked about a myriad of things, right? But what I want to talk about specifically is what he had to say about Mace. He was asked, what is going on with you and Mace? If you guys are unaware, Mace is a rapper. He used to be on the Bad Boy label. And in recent years, Mace has basically been getting a little bit more aggressive in calling Diddy a fraud. Okay. He said that, Diddy is a scam artist. Diddy didn't want to let him out his contract. He said Diddy owes him money. He won't give him the masters to his music, etc., etc. I did a full video about this years ago. I lived through this era, so pardon my passion, okay? Diddy had the nerve to sit on this morning show and said that Mace owes him $3 million. He also said that he opened doors for a lot of people and he never stole from anyone. Diddy feels that a thief is the worst thing that you can be, and if somebody takes something away from someone, they deserve to have their hand chopped off, okay? Diddy also called Mace a con man and said that when he decided to retire from music, Mace that is, he went into becoming he transitioned into becoming a pastor, so he was Pastor Mason Betha. And Diddy said that he was frauding people out of money and conning people out of money and was a fraud. And then later on said that, he loves Mason. He doesn't have any issues with them. Diddy also stated during this interview that soon he will be having a podcast of sorts where he's going to come to the table with everybody's contracts and prove that he is not the crook that Mace is painting him out to be. See, here's the thing. Diddy is doing his press runs, right? Because Diddy plans on launching this new Love Records record label, and he's planning on coming out with a new R&B album. So he stated, listen, I'm back outside. You know what I'm saying? Like I was somewhat of a recluse before. He didn't use that word. And, he lost the love of his life, his best friend, Kim Porter, who is the mother of 3 of his children. And he said that now he's back. He's back in a creative space, and he does not want anybody throwing dirt on his name. So he said he's going to get serious about this. Now, let me say this. I'm a firm believer in you can defend yourself whenever you want, however you want, if somebody is attacking you physically and also trying to ruin your reputation. Because I said to myself, why now? Mace has talked about this for years. This was reignited recently, but Mace has been talking about this issue that he has had with Diddy for years. He even made a diss record about it this year, or was it last year? Anyway, why now, I say? But again, Diddy can defend himself how he wants, whenever he wants, right? So I'm going to read this article from Double XL, even though I watched the interview in its entirety, but for the sake of organization, so I can keep my thoughts all together before I start going ham. Double XL wrote an article about this, and it reads, on Wednesday, October 5th, Power 105's The Breakfast Club aired a new interview with Diddy where the hip-hop mogul talked about never jerking anybody on his label, despite the ongoing complaints from former artists like Mace, who is still calling out his former boss. Mace is not the only one that has said this. Anyway, just in general, this is what Diddy said. The Mace thing, I did one album with Mace. Pause. Didn't Mace released 3 albums on Bad Boy? 2 of them were Bad Boy Arista. The third one was Bad Boy Universal. But maybe Diddy didn't produce that. I don't know why he said he did one album with Mace. I don't know. And DJ Envy co-signed that. So that was a little weird. One album. How much money do you think I owe this guy? This is what he said at the 46-minute mark, to be exact. And then he became a fake pastor and went and conned people. And y'all gonna let him throw dirt on the God's name? This is what Diddy is saying. Anybody can come and step up. Bring your receipts. But I'm not playing. I'm back outside and I'm fighting back for us. And I'm also doing some fighting back for me. Okay, so Diddy is doing this in the name of defending himself. Okay, now like I said, as far as Mace's total of albums on Bad Boy, there were three. So I don't understand what he means that he did one album with Mace. I don't know. Diddy was kind of, he seemed like he was talking a little bit slow, and his reaction time to certain things was a little delayed. I don't know. Maybe he was tired because it was early in the morning. I don't know. Then he goes on to say Mace owes me $3 million. That's facts. I got the receipts. He continued, and I'm not going to go back and forth with Mace. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. I'm just going to speak up for myself now. Anybody that thinks I owe them something, show me the receipt and you'll get paid within 24 hours. Okay? I just I don't get it. I don't know why he would say that Mace owes him money. If anybody owed Diddy money, I would like to believe maybe he's in a different space now because that's how he's trying to paint himself. And that's very well possible. People can change if they truly are disciplined to do so, right? But if Mace owed him $3 million, I would like to think that we would hear about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm judging Diddy wrong, okay? I'm basing Diddy off of what I grew up seeing. But he could be a changed man. But if you think about it, right? Mace has done shows with Diddy. Remember the Bad Boy reunion tour? Mace was there. When they did the BET Awards a couple of years back, Mace was there. I mean, most recently when Diddy had his little tribute, Mace wasn't there. And he received whatever award it was. Mace wasn't there, but Mace has done shows with him. He's done appearances on radio stations with him. I remember when they were on, it wasn't a New York radio station. I don't remember what radio station it was, but Mace popped up and then they talked about the contract, and Mace, it was revealed that Mace didn't understand the contract, and he indeed wasn't really out of his deal or something like that. But I remember when Mace was retiring after his second album, he was talking to Flex on Hot 97, right? I was in high school. I remember this. And he talked about retiring, and he talked about, him wanting to be a pastor because he doesn't want to lead young people to hell, and the music that he's making is destructive. That was the second album. So when Diddy said that he did one album with Mace, I wish he would have been able to clarify. But, Charlemagne was doing a lot. I understand Charlemagne tried to get all his questions in, but Charlemagne was really being a little immature and annoying. But he did ask a couple of good questions. But I'm not reviewing the whole interview yet. I just wanted to talk about that piece. Then I sat with it for a minute. And I said, I wonder if this is a marketing scheme that Mace and Diddy came up with to promote whatever project it is that Diddy has coming up. And I would like to think that Mace would probably be down with that. What do you guys think? Because these days you can't put anything past these entertainers. People will go to great lengths, even if it means frauding the public, to market their projects. Okay, look at Kanye West. But I'm not even going to go there. Trust me, I'm pretty sure Kanye West got something happening or that's ready to be released. That's why all this melee about the t-shirt that he wore is, arising. Kanye knows what he's doing as it pertains to getting people riled up. But I'm not here to talk about Kanye. Diddy did talk about Kanye though. But check out the interview and tell me what you think. Mace is being accused of owing. How does Mace owe you $3 million? But then again, maybe he gave him money up front and Mace didn't fulfill his contract. But Mace has 3 albums. So as per his contract, how many albums was he supposed to complete? 5? Most contracts, you have a 5-album deal. And Diddy did touch on that. He said a lot of these artists like to tap out, like when the money slows down and they're not getting all the promotion that they are accustomed to in the beginning. They don't have the hustle and the drive to go out there and make things happen. Diddy is somewhat of a hands-off, kind of hands-on when he wants to be hands-on type of boss, from what I can tell. I guess because he's had to go out and get a lot on his own, he expects his artists to hustle and do the same. But Mace was young when he signed to Bad Boy. I mean, that's not an excuse, but I'm just saying. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm curious to hear what Mace has to say. And for those of you who are not aware, Fabio Foreign, the rapper, was put on by Mace, and he was on a podcast, and he stated that Mace pretty much did the same thing that Mace is accusing Puffy of doing to him. So he had to, if that's true, he learned it from somewhere, right? So I'm curious to see how this all plays out. If Diddy indeed is going to have a podcast on his Revolt network, and he mentioned, the Locks, they plan to appear on his podcast and I guess help his reputation. Diddy is not having anybody spitting or kicking dirt on his name. He got a project coming out. I think Diddy has some obligations that need to be fulfilled because he is pressing this comeback very, very hard. And I'm sure that there's money involved. Before I go, I do want to say this. One thing that I strongly agreed with him about is the type of music that is being made right now is very dark for the youth and is very depressing and sad, and it promotes, ending life. And he wants to kind of flip all of that on its head and make music about love, R&B. Of course, he wants to do the whole hip hop element. He can't help but incorporate that in his music. But this album is supposed to be strictly R&B. And I agree with him on that. I think him being a veteran in the game, he feels that he has a social responsibility to kind of point that out. And he said he doesn't care who gets mad. He said he's got to do what he's got to do as it pertains to the music. And he's always been a stickler for certain things being said, the power of words, certain things you put in your music. But we knew that from back in the day. He kind of had to clean up certain things as it pertains to Biggie, because Diddy wasn't he wasn't hustling in the street like that. His hustle was a little bit different coming up. So I agree with him on that. And he also talked about, playlisting and, streaming services and these DSPs, and New York DJs. And he also had a message for New York artists saying, listen, all these other sounds is good or whatever, but we need to focus on having our own sound and building back up New York's population, I guess. I guess he was basically trying to say New York rappers are emulating the sound of rappers from other regions in the world. I can agree with that as well. But like I said, I'm not really here to review the entire episode. It was good. I was entertained, but my jaw dropped when he said that Mase owes him $3 million. I am anticipating Mase's reply. Hopefully it won't be a back and forth. Again, you can defend yourself however you want to and whenever you want to. It would have been nice if he didn't call him a con man, but then again, Mase called Diddy a crook and a con man. So it's kind of like you can't, piss somebody off or say something negative about somebody and then tell them how to react. So it was a very interesting interview. Hopefully you guys will get an opportunity to watch it. If you did, drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Let me know if you grew up during the bad boy era. Okay, that was my era. All right. So that's all I got. Ain't got no more. I can't wait to read your comments. Of course, keep everything respectful as you guys always do. And shout out to all of the new Royal family members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm signing off. I love you for watching. As always, until next time. Peace.